Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 376. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have another super cute card for you tonight. Kind of simple, but super cute and easy to recreate. All right, I'm going to put you down at the table. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. All right, so hold on. All right, so let's turn this and loosen it up. Oh, it's a little tight still. And there we go. And I think... Oops, there we go. And I'm going to tighten it up just a tad bit so it's not so, there. You know what? Maybe if I do this from the other side, squish, no squishing. There we go. Okay, I think that's good, right? Am I crooked or am I straight? I think I'm straight. There we go. Let's leave it at that. All right, so let's put the light on the subject. I have a new host code today. All right, so again, my name is Joy Borwedge, and I have a Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net, and a new host code is K2W2PPES. So you can use that host code when you have an order that is under $150. When it's over $150, don't use that host code because I want you to receive the free products that you will get until the hosting program is gone. So basically what's going to happen is, you know how you have friends who like to place orders, and you invite them over, or you could do an online order, and if your order is $150 or more, you get hostess benefits. Well, Stampin' Up! Is making it so that everybody gets benefits, and that starts with an order at $20. So if you have an order of $50, you don't get hostess rewards. So now Stampin' Up! Is going to, in the coming future, Stampin' Up! Is going to be giving you rewards, basically 10% of your sales, and they're going to put them in kind of like an account that's under your name. And so you accumulate these awards, and you can use them sporadically throughout your purchases, or you can save them all up and purchase that one big thing that you want. So it's your choice. But that's not happening yet. So I'm still going to use that host code until that's no longer available. All right. penguinz33@outlook.com is my email address, so that if you wish to request a catalog, if you do not have a demonstrator that you're working with, I would be happy to send you one. Now mine are on the way, and I should say they haven't been picked yet. I just placed the order and this weekend, and so once they come in, I'll be handing them out to my customers. Now, the regular catalog is this one right here. So this is the annual catalog. It runs through the end of April. And then we also have the new spring mini catalog, which just happened to go live on the 7th. Now, for every $60 you purchase between these two catalogs, also the scrapbooking brochure and the last chance products, they will help you reach your $60. And don't forget the online exclusives. So when you purchase those products and you gather up to $60, you get to pick something out of here for free. So that is only for 2 months, and it's while supplies last. So today we are going to play with something that is in this catalog, and it is called, let's see here, where do I have it? It is, what, I didn't highlight it? Happiest Day. There we go. Happiest Day. And, oops, I missed it. There we go. It's this one right here. And it's a really cute stamp set that can also be used for scrapbooking. And so this is just a standalone stamp set. That means that it's just a stamp set, does not have any dies, and does not have a punch, does not have any designer series paper that coordinates with it. And it's on page 99. And what really got me is you make me feel like glitter in the sun. I mean, who wouldn't want to receive a card that says that? And today we're going to play with the dragonfly, and we're going to do a little bit different. We're not going to fill that in with the stamp, so we're going to do something different with that. Then we're also going to use we're going to use 2 Sale-A-Bration products. One is going to be the purple sequins, and that is on page 11. It's down here, so don't miss that. Then we're also going to be using the Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper. So again, if your order is $60, you get to pick anything out of here for free. Now, if your order is $120, you get to pick two $60 levels, which is level 1, or you could go to level 2, and then you get to choose 2 items. You get to pick a stamp set and a die set. That's $120 if your order is $120. Or you could pick this one, which is called Corner in Bloom. And this one's called Heart-Shaped Bundle. So, like I said, this is a great time of year to get things that you want online. Now, something that just went live along with everything else is the new scrapbook. And it's an online brochure, but I printed it out just so that I can show you what it looks like, where it's at. Now, I talked about two-tone paper, and it is two-tone cardstock. And what it is it's Stampin' Up! Colors. One side is one color, and the other side is the lighter color. You can also rip it. Now, my printer doesn't show very well, but you could see the white core. So you could do different techniques based upon this cardstock. Now, in here, it's tone on tone. It has a white core. It's two-sided, and it's very versatile. So the 12 by 12 two-tone cardstocks are sold in 12 sheets. And in here, so don't forget, we also have Petunia Pop, Bubble Bath, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, and Crumb Cake. Then we also have from the previous one, Garden Green, Pool Party, Real Red, and Basic Black. And then White Willow, which is Close to My Heart's white. Now, Stampin' Up! Included the Close to My Heart demonstrators. So those were called makers, and so now they changed over to be Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And Stampin' Up! Is now getting into more scrapbooking, which is what a lot of people have been asking for. So a lot of this stuff is, I should say, some of this stuff coordinates with the, I need to make this a little bit better, coordinates with the items in the spring mini catalog. This one's called Wildflower Celebrations. So I know there's a stamp set, and I should say a suite that coordinates with this. And it's a workshop kit, and it makes 3 2-page spreads. So you get 6 pages, and it gives you techniques. It tells you what you need, and it's great instructions for somebody who's just starting out. Then there's also a stamp set that coordinates with that. And when you look at it online, just be sure to read the description of what you're purchasing. Storybook Life. Now, this also coordinates with product that is in the new Spring Mini. And again, it's a workshop kit, and you get to make 3 2-page spreads. And so here's more on that. And I think Hip Hop Parade is super cute. And does this remind you of the Beatrix Potter? I mean, if you're old enough like I am to remember that. This one's so cute. This is called Meant to Be. And we've had a bee that looks pretty similar to this in the past, but it is just so cute. And this is a workshop kit. Again, it makes 3 separate 2-page spreads. And just make sure, like I said, that you're looking in the descriptions as to what you're purchasing. And you can just buy the paper if you wanted to. You could buy the stamp set if you wanted to. You could buy the Designer Series paper with the sticker sheet, and then the Designer Series, the 2-tone cardstock. So it's really up to you what you purchase. You could purchase the whole kit. Now, these kits are also, as you see them, they are scrapbooking. However, who says you just have to scrapbook? You can do home decor as well as make cards with them. Now, this one here is called Everyday You and Me. I do not believe this coordinates with anything. I think it looks pretty new. And there looks like there is a stamp set and a bundle. So there's a die bundle in here as well. And look at the pretty gingham. So this one's pretty cool. So here's the Meant to Be bundle. And again, it's a stamp set and dies. And when you buy the bundle, which is down here, you save the 10%. Now, I think I messed up my pages. That's 18 and 19, 20, 21. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. And then they also have what's called flip flaps. And this is something that apparently it has adhesive. And so you're able to flip flop it in the actual pages. So this is something that you can find in the online store. I believe Stampin' Up! Is going to be including scrapbooking in the new catalog, but I'm not sure. And so hopefully that will be coming pretty soon, where it's going to be all-inclusive. So you don't have to look for another place to go. So be sure to check that out. And like I said, those purchases will also go towards your 60. And then the online exclusives, that is something that, again, will not see a publication. And so there's a lot of new product that just came out. And so I just showed you the scrapbooking brochure. Now this one here is called Mixed Media Florals. And this is a really cool set. Also, if you like to color, this is a really great bundle for you. Now, the Mixed Media Suite is $128. So when you buy the Suite collection, you can actually get the $120, so the level number 2 Sale-A-Bration brochure product for free, or you get to pick out 2 level 1s. So it's really up to you, but just don't forget to check that out. All right, so that's enough of that. Tonight's card is going to be this one, and it's, like I said, it's going to be pretty quick. And I'm going to show you how to get that color on that dragonfly. Okay, so let's show you the cardstock that we're going to be playing with. And we have a piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is a half sheet of cardstock. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Then we have a piece of Calypso Coral. Now, Calypso Coral is one of the cardstocks that we can use. And I forgot to show you. The stuff. So I'm going to show you the Calypso Coral. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have a piece of the Designer Series paper, which is a 1/2. That's from the Sale-A-Bration. That's just a half a sheet that I ended up cutting off. And then this piece is 4 by 1.5. And then I have a piece of Basic White, which is a 2.5 square. I should move this up a little bit so make sure it stays in the camera frame. And then another piece of Basic White, which is 2.5 by 1.5. And then we have a piece of Basic White, which is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so we're also going to be using the dotted circle, and it's on page 129. It's a 3D embossing folder. It's the big one, and it's in the annual catalog. We're going to be playing with that today. And then, like I showed you, we're going to be using the adhesive, the purple adhesive backed gems. It's a Sale-A-Bration, so you can't purchase it. You can only earn it for free. And then we're going to use the Stylish Shapes dies. And we're going to use the third from the outside circle. And then the Happiest Day stamp set. I love the stamp set. And we're going to use the Wishing You the Happiest Birthday. I mean, because whoever wins this card, you know, you can use it for a birthday, and somebody's birthday is bound to come up. All right, so then here's the Bloom Impressions. This is a Sale-A-Bration paper. And like I said, so the front and the backs are just, depends on what side you need, right? So today we are going to be using, which one? We're going to be using this one right here. And as you can see, there's a lot of cardstock that coordinate with this: Azure Afternoon, Blackberry Bliss, Blueberry Bushel, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pumpkin Pie, and Shy Shamrock. And so that is where I got the Calypso Coral and the Blackberry Bliss, because it really makes the other colors pop. So that's the Sale-A-Bration paper. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit there for a second. That way, if you do not have the items and you wish to put them in your cart, you can come back and you can have everything cut up, and then you can create with me. Or you can use something you already have. All right, I'm just going to take a drink. All right, let's go. We're going to be doing some die cutting with the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. And we're going to be doing some embossing with the embossing folder. Oh, why am I crooked? Or I went blurry for a second. Okay, that happened yesterday, so maybe I need to start moving a little slower. All right, so this one, I'm actually going to be using the cut emboss machine. And you know what? We're going to actually stamp our images first, and then we're going to go on the inside card, and then we're going to work on the outside. So we are going to take the Stampin' Pearson mat, because that gives you, when you're using photopolymer, that gives you a great base, and it allows the colors to give you a full image. All right, so we're going to stamp the Memento, because we're going to use Stampin' Blends. And I just want to make sure that I get a good ink up, and we're just going to allow that to sit for a second. There we go. That gives us a nice image of our dragonfly. Now we're going to do the same dragonfly. We're going to cut this one out. There's no dies for this or punches, but there we go. And then I am going to stamp the greeting on the inside. Now I'm going to lay this piece of paper right here because I want to use from the edge of the designer series paper from here. That's where my center is going to be. If I was to put the center here and without having the paper and then I would stamp it, it would look off centered. Now if I wish to do that on purpose, then that's a little different. All right, so the inside of the card is going to say you're the best. So whoever wins this card, hopefully you have somebody that you could give it to. All right, so I'm going to just stamp right there. And I'm going to allow that to sit for just a second. There we go. And we have a nice image stamped up. Okay, so then that's enough with the black. And now we're going to do the greeting. It says, wishing you the happiest birthday. That is going to be in Blackberry Bliss. And so I'm just going to pull this off right now. And I am going to ink that up right here in Blackberry Bliss. Just tap, tap, tap. No squishing. No need to squish. And got a fuzzy on there. Let's see if I have any more. Yes, I do. This is how I get my fingers all inky. I don't do it on purpose. All right. I might just have to take a piece of tape and run it over my, let's see if we could do this right in the center. Allow that ink to transfer. And that looks good. Okay, so then now we're just going to put that off to the side and roll that over. Now we are going to be doing some coloring with our Stampin' Blends. And I just want to get those out. Now, we're going to put this through the die cutting machine in just a moment, but I want to sit first and color these guys. Now, I'm only going to sit. These are the colors that I'm going to be using, Calypso Coral and Rich Razzleberry. Now, I swatched them. I always do the light first, and then I do the dark on the second, and I always do the nib tip at the top and the brush on the bottom. So if you look at this, you could see that the dark nib tip this is the light, actually. The light nib tip is darker than the brush, and the opposite for the dark. And then if you look at the light over here, the lightest part is the brush and the darker is the nib. And again, the darker is the brush and the lighter is the nib. So it's not always the same. So that's the reason why I swatched the color out, so that it tells me where and when I should use my color. Okay, so I'm going to use that as my guide. And I have the color lifter here as well. And then I have the light and the dark, the light and the dark. So, and then I have the nibs at the top and the brushes at the bottom. So when I look at this, then I know where I'm coloring. Okay, so I'm just going to take a seat for a moment while I color. And if you have any questions, I will answer them when I pop right back up. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn this to the side, and I am going to color my dragonflies off to the side here. And we're going to kind of do, I would like to do them both at the same time, but I really can't do that because the, I want to be able to blend the colors in, and you can't do that if they dry out. So I'm going to do one dragonfly kind of at a time. This is the dark brush. And then I am going to use the, I'm going to use the nib. And I'm just going to kind of swirl. Oh, I colored outside the line. Darn it. And I'm going to go get that with the color lifter and push that back in. Because this is the inside of the card, so I want it to look good, whoever wins it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the dark brush of the Calypso Coral, and then we're going to blend that in with the nib tip. Oh my, I put hand lotion on and I just pulled it off. Well then, let's see. I guess we'll just use the brush end then. All right, and then we'll just swirl those colors in. Okay, and then nib. All right, and I'm going to go back in with, actually I'm going to use the brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend that in a little bit more. Okay. And isn't that cool? I don't know why it does that. It just bleeds. Okay. Black is bleeding, so I don't know if I want to keep that or not. I don't like that. Maybe I'm going to get another piece and see how that has the right there at the edge. I don't like that bleeding, and like I said, whoever wins this card, I want them to, like it. So I'm going to just it doesn't take that long to get a new piece to go. So we are just going to put my black away. So we're just going to grab that again. And that's why we don't attach the designer series paper yet. Because you want to make sure that it looks good. If you don't like it, then you can always get rid of it and flip-flop it. But because you are doing the Stampin' Blends, you cannot flip it over. You can flip over the part you did not blend through, but all right, so I'm using that to help me center. There we go. You're the best. All right, so we're going to actually color this one first, just so that this one can just hang out for a moment. Okay, let's do that again. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to sit down. We'll color. All right, so you went with the brush of the dark rich raspberry. And then how about the nib tip? We'll just blend those two colors. I'm not going to get close to the edge, and then maybe it won't bleed as much, because that's what you want it, is you want it to blend. All right, so there we go with that. And then, so those will bleed together. And then let's do the Calypso Coral. We'll do the nib tip. I'll blend that together, and then we'll use the brush now. No two butterflies are the same. All right, so I like that. That turned out much better. Okay, so then now we're going to cut this one out. It's actually not going to take a long time to cut it out. But that's why I like swatching, because your blender pens are never the same. Sometimes the nib tip happens to be darker than your brush. Sometimes your brush happens to be darker than your tip. So I mean, it's sometimes they're pretty close in color, so you can never guess. So it's like getting 4 colors in 2 pens, but they all coordinate. It's like the new 2-tone cardstock that's coming, that there's a back side, and then there's the front side. That is the original Stampin' Up! Color. And one thing about a good coloring session is you can always tell that your blends are working really well, is if you turn it over and you can tell that and there's our dragonfly. All right, so that's one. Okay, so then now let's do the guy that goes on the inside of the card, and let's try not to ruin that one again. Okay, so we're going to start out with the brush tip. And again, maybe not too close to the edge, and that way it can blend out. And then we went with the nib tip of this one, and just swirl that, get that color going. Squeak, squeak. Okay, then we'll go with the nib tip. Just blend those colors together and go in with the brush of the light. Now my tip of my brush is getting very mushy. I do tend to use my nib tips more than I do my brushes, unless it's something that's very big, I guess. All right, so this one happened to have a little bit of over, so hopefully that'll stay pretty clean. Okay, so then now, there we go. Hi, Stacy. How you doing? Okay, so then I'm going to take that away, and I am going to grab my silicone mat and the Designer Series paper, the strip, and we're going to add the Designer Series paper, and I'm going to leave just a tad bit of white space. I kind of like doing that. I don't know why, but I do. All right, and then now we're going to flip that over and snip that off. Yeah, I know, I agree. I'm going with the colors of the Designer Series paper. So I'm glad you like that. All right, so that is the inside of the card. And so seeing as how this one turned out, we're going to flip this over and we're going to put this on the inside of the card. See how the blends penetrated that? That's how you know that you have a good set of blends. Okay, so then now let's go and get the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Now that we're all done coloring, and we'll do some die cutting. And first of all, I'm going to clean off my stamps just because I like to clean them off as I go and not leave the ink linger. The red tones and the purple tones tend to discolor the stamp, but it doesn't hinder it whatsoever. All right, let's keep our dragonfly, the one we colored, over there. All right, let's grab that. All right, and to make sure I brought over all the plates that went with this. Okay, so the first one we're going to use is we're going to die cut this circle. Now I could have used the small Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, but because I am embossing using a 3D folder, I needed to make sure, whoops, that we're using, I'll just use one. Okay, so we don't have anything else that we're going to cut out except for this piece right here, and that is okay. All right, so I am going to take off the platform and the cutting plate, and that leaves us with this, wishing you the happiest birthday. And then we'll put the die back where it goes for now. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to put it through the dotted circles dies. And this is the big kahuna. So I am going to put that roughly right there and put that through this binding. This is the one that the seam has to go towards the rollers. Otherwise, you will break apart your folder. And that's not really a good idea, seeing as how you paid for it. Okay, so there we go. And now it's going to make a bunch of pretty circles that give it a nice texture. I mean, you can see that's very raised. Okay, so now we are done with the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Let's get rid of it and put that where it goes and not hide the folder on myself. Put it right on top. because after I'm done with the video, then I'll put my stuff away. And sometimes if it's too late, then I'll go back the next day and put it away. And then I won't find things very well. So because this is embossed, I am going to rip and tape my fingers. Sometimes that does that to me, and I don't know why. Let's try that again. So all the way around, because you don't want this to be raised and lift up. You want it to you want it not to bevel when it's attached, and then it basically falls apart if it's not behaving properly. Okay, so we're going to take this piece of designer series paper, and I actually cut it right. Normally, I don't trust myself, so I always give myself a little room, but apparently I kind of forgot that I did that and just cut it. I mean, I just designed this card today. Now make sure that this here is a bunch of flowers, and the greens kind of go like this. Try to pay attention and not put it upside down. That's my only hint. Okay, so we have the center of the circle right there. And so we're just going to actually put that right in the center. How cool is that? And we're going to use dimensionals. I'm going to grab my people poker, because I am the people it pokes or stabs, one of the two. At least I haven't drawn blood yet, which is a very good thing. I don't have fingernails, so, I mean, mine just bust off and chip away. And right there, I cut one off. So I'm surprised I even have any fingernails left. All right. Yeah, that's when I was making Christmas cookies. And luckily, no blood happened. And it wasn't anywhere near anything. Okay, so that is going to go right there. Now, this little butterfly, dragonfly, it is going to get a dimensional 2, and it's only going to go right here. So we need a mini, and it's just going to stab and grab that backing, throw it away, and that is going to sit right. I'm not going to cover up any words, so I'm trying to be, what's the word? I'm trying to take that into point as to where I'm going to set it down. And then we are going to use the Baker's Twine 3-color pack. And I don't know if it's in the annual catalog. Let's see here. Colors, ribbon, embellishments, folders, ribbon. I knew it was blue. Okay, yep, it's in the annual catalog. It is on page 113, number 17. So I'm going to make a bow. Out of the Calypso coral. There we go. And that is going to go right under there. So, whoa, that went with my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to take this and cut them both at the same time so that they have a nice edge. And now I have a tip. I put a little slice in there so I can find my edge of my ribbon, so it's hold it in place so it doesn't come undone, and so that you can find it right away. It drives me crazy when you're looking for your end and half the spool comes off. That's not right. Should not do that, in my opinion. Okay, so now I am going to flip this over and grab that mini glue dots right there squished down, and I'm going to put that right at the edge, and I'm going to put that right under right there. And it kind of resembles the dragonfly wings. Now, how cool is that? And I'm just going to make that one a little smaller. There we go. And it kind of takes that on. Okay, so now we're going to put that people poker away and flip this over. And we're going to use the gems. These are the Sale-A-Bration gems. They're the purple adhesive backed sequins. Now, the only one that's really technically colored purple is this one. This is Fresh Freesia. These guys are pink. This is white, and that's a very bright pink. So, Stampin' Up! Was a little wrong. I think it was maybe one of the guys, and he was having color issues. Okay, so let's put one down here. Oops, that wanted to come with me. And then we're going to put another one. I'm going to put my tip back in. I'm going to put that one right there. And then we're going to grab a tiny one and put that right up there. So we create a triangle. And then we're going to put the Wink of Stella on our dragonfly. Now, the dragonfly, we're going to actually take the color and move it towards the center because it is lighter on the edge and we're working towards the center where the dark colors roam. And then let's do the same thing to the inside guy. We're going to take the colors and move towards and you can use the Stampin' Blends with this and pick any color for your inside. Okay, you know what? I'm thinking that maybe, and then clean it off. Just swish it, you know, onto another piece of cardstock and take the color out. I'm thinking that we should take and put one right at the end. I mean, why not, right? Put one, maybe let's put a small one there because that might look a little better. That one looked a little big. Let's go. There we go. There, small one. And then squish that down. And there we go. So, what do you think? So that is our card for the day. So, this card, the Happiest Day stamp set, is in the annual catalog. The ribbon and the folder, the embossing folder, is in the annual catalog. And the dies are in the online exclusive. Thank you very much, Stacy. And the free items with the purchase of $60 is the gems, the sequins, or the designer series paper. I should say both of them are. So if you would like to get a chance to win this card, all you need to do is do a thumbs up or a heart. That gets your name entered into the drawing. You can leave a comment. All you have to do is say hi and share this on your timeline. Maybe there's a paper crafter on your timeline that hasn't touched their stuff in a really long time. Maybe you do not know that they even paper crafted one time. So seeing this video might help them realize that either A, they need to touch their stuff, or B, they can use a hobby. So thank you very much for helping me out and hanging out with me on a Sunday night. Hopefully I'll be back on Thursday. If not, it'll be another time on the weekend probably. Just because we've been busy at work, it's kind of hard for me to know for sure if I'll be back on Thursday or not. So thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. Don't forget to share this. I don't pick the winners tonight, so it gives everybody a chance to do the things to get entered into the drawing. And so take care. Have a great week.